Now, your NBC10 First Alert weather.
I'm First Alert Meteorologist Steve Sosna. We have some breaking weather information in here in the last few minutes. We've had a tornado warning now issued for parts of New Jersey. And as you can see, it's for parts of Salem, Gloucester, and then extreme southeastern Delaware County in Pennsylvania. That's through 8:45 this evening. So I'm going to read you off some of the information for this tornado warning. Again, Salem County, northwestern Gloucester County, and southeastern Delaware County. This is in effect until 8:45 this evening. We've seen this storm system pulse up. Now, this is a possible rain-wrapped tornado. As you can see outside, if you're in and around Philadelphia, it's pouring outside and the visibility is poor. So at this time, this is when you want to go inside. You want to go to the lowest floor of your home, away from windows, and because you will not be able to see this coming at you. But you can see the little notch that is right here. This would be the possible place of this tornado. So here's Wilmington, Delaware, to give you some perspective. It's over into New Jersey now. So I think the threat for Delaware is over. So it's along this 295 corridor, especially from Woolwich all the way up towards West Deptford. Again, this is the danger zone. If you are listening to me now, if you know somebody in this area, give them a call, give them a text, tell them to get away from windows. Windows are the first thing that get smashed out by damaging winds. As you can see, the notch right here, this would be the potential rotation in the storm. Now, heavy rain is also a big threat in addition to this possible tornado. We have widespread flash flood warnings in and around southeastern Pennsylvania, and we've been seeing those flash flood warnings likely extended into New Jersey. So this is what you need to do right now. You want to be in the lowest level of your home. If you're in an apartment building, get away from windows. That is the most important thing. And again, wait till the storm has passed. If you can stream us on NBC10 on your app, on your phone, and we will have the latest information on that. But there you go. You can see there's the storm of concern. Notice that it's pouring in Philadelphia, but we're not seeing severe weather with that part of the storm. We're seeing the severe weather in this part of the storm with the possible rotation. Again, rain wrapped. You will not be able to see this coming at you. This is the potential tornado right in this vicinity right here where you see the arrow indicated. And again, that storm is moving off to the north and east at about 25 miles per hour. In fact, I'm just getting a new update. There's flash flood warnings in effect now for Philadelphia County too. So again, in addition to this tornado threat, we are seeing roadways that are becoming covered in water and it's not safe to drive. There you go. There's that flash flood warning in effect for Center City, Philadelphia. If you're expecting a loved one to come home, they may be delayed. Certainly, if you're going to be headed out, maybe you can delay your travel plans another hour or two. Again, I'm going to show you the sky cam conditions. This is a live look at Philadelphia at the moment. As you can see, the visibility down to near nothing. This is from our Comcast Center. Again, this is a dangerous situation when you can't see the potential tornado. Now, Wilmington, you were initially under that tornado warning. That storm has now cleared you, so you do not have to worry about that. So I'm going to go back to the radar real quickly, break down the places that are in the greatest threat right now. It's in this area over the Delaware Memorial Bridge into southern New Jersey, and this part of the storm right near 295. So if you know somebody that's driving right now, maybe shoot them a text, pull off onto the side of the road. You do not want to be driving in this, and wait till the storm has passed. This will not be lasting any longer than probably a half hour or so, and that storm will be moving off to the east. Again, it's this shade of red. This is the tornado warning. And again, we have seen tornado touchdowns this year with tornado warnings. These are not just false alerts. So we need to be watching this. It's radar indicated so far. And so we will continue to watch areas like Paulsboro, East Greenwich. It looks like Logan, seeing some of the possible conditions with damaging winds as well. It doesn't necessarily mean you're going to get a tornado out of this, but even damaging winds can cause problems. And again, these are the things that you want to be doing, of course, during this tornado warning. So you want to turn the volume all the way up on your TV. That way, if you're down in the basement, you can hear us, you can hear what's going on. You want to be in the basement or the lowest level of your home. So that's the interior closet. That's the bathroom, preferably the basement, but I know not all of you have basements, and you want to turn on, and we can Facebook Live this as well to show you what is going on. But again, here's the storm now. It was over Delaware, so that shows you how quickly it has moved, but it's still showing signs of rotation. A dangerous rain-wrapped storm, not a lot of lightning with this, so you're not going to hear the claps of thunder that you typically hear from these kinds of severe storms. This is a very intense storm with heavy rain bands and possible damaging winds. And again, in this small pocket here, a potential tornado. Again, this is moving into Gloucester County now. Gloucester County, if you're listening to me right now, if you have friends in Gloucester County, you want them in the lowest floor of your home. So, all right, we're going to turn it over to Jim Rosenfield. He has some new information for us.
Well, Steve, I actually just wanted to point out to our viewers the difference right now between a tornado warning and a tornado watch, because there is a major difference. Can you explain that?
Yes. So the tornado warning means it's imminent. Tornado watch means in the next several hours, there are conditions that may lead up to a tornado. A tornado warning means that either Doppler radar is indicating a tornado forming at the ground and or it's been spotted. So far, the only updates I've seen are that this is a radar indicated tornado. Now, obviously I'm not near my computer, so I'm going to have to try to get some new information on this storm system. But again, this is the circulation right here. It's spun up just north and east of Wilmington. It's moving up along 295. And as you can see, that is the most dangerous part of the storm here. And again, outside of the tornado warning, we do have issues with flash flooding, but this is the area right now as it expands to the north and east. We'll have to wait and see. Does this tornado warning get reissued for counties to the north of there? Based on this kind of circulation, it looks like it may. So again, if you have photos, if you have videos, you can send it to us at NBC Philadelphia, but please be safe. Wait until the storm has passed to do so, but that information does certainly help us out. Again, this storm is moving off to the east at 25 miles per hour. Again, possible places in the path of this tornado would be Mullica Hill, Gibbstown, Winona, Oak Valley. Again, you all are in the possible threat here of this storm as it continues to move off to the east at about 25 miles per hour, almost riding up the 295 corridor here. Outside of that, in Philadelphia, you're looking out the window, you got the heavy rain. We have the Broad Street Kimmel Center campus camera behind Jim right now. It's pouring outside there. Looks like we have this tornado warning in effect till 9 o'clock. So I'm going to step off the camera right now and see if I can get this new information for you and see where that new warning is issued.
Well, you go ahead and do that, Steve. We also want to repeat, this is an important time to remember that with these flash flood warnings, you may be out there driving. This is not the time when you want to try to navigate through standing water. It's difficult to really tell how deep water is once it's raining this hard in our area. So you turn around. Don't try to go through it because you can get stuck in those deep waters and it can become a very dangerous situation. Always bears repeating.
Yeah, good information, Jim. And a lot more of you are being encountering this flash flooding than the tornado warning, but a newly issued tornado warning. So this is brand new, and I'm reading this right before your eyes here, for central Camden County in southern New Jersey, northeastern Gloucester County in southern New Jersey, and west central Burlington County in central New Jersey. This same storm, which has had a history on Doppler radar of potentially producing a tornado, is now moving north. So new areas are under the threat. Again, I'm going to reemphasize this. Central Camden County. We have areas of northeastern Gloucester County and western and central Burlington County, New Jersey. This is till 9 o'clock. And so I'm going to read this information for you. Severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located over Pittman, New Jersey, or 9 miles south of Gloucester City. The storm has now picked up speed. It was moving at 25, now moving at 40, which means you don't have as much time to get to that lowest floor of your home, to the basement, interior room, the bathroom. You have to go now. Some places that are in the path of this possible tornado. If you are in these communities, I need you to go to the lowest floor of your home, into an interior closet. If you live in Cherry Hill, Evesham, Deptford, Voorhees, Medford, West Deptford, Glassboro, Lindenwood, Lumberton, Belmar, Woodbury, Pittman, Berlin, Chemung, Paulsboro, Magnolia, Westville, Woodbury Heights, and into Barclay, Kingston. So any of those towns that I just named, and actually thank you for putting up the track right there, you can see based on the path of the storm, these are the places: 8:30 in Deptford, 8:36 in Gloucester. Voorhees, if you're watching, you want to have the TV turned up loud and get into that interior room. 8:43, 8:49 in Evesham, and Mount Laurel at 8:52. Again, this is a rain-wrapped storm. You will not be able to see it coming at you. I know a lot of you may be standing at your windows waiting for it to come. Do not do that. You want to be away from the window. You won't be able to see this storm. And again, we could see upwards of 60 to 70 mile per hour winds outside a tornado threat. So again, this is what you need to be doing if you're on the road. You want to head for the nearest sturdy building, if that's an option. If it's a rest stop, find an area that you can seek durable shelter. You never want to stop under an overpass. What happens if you do get that potential tornado? That wind funnels and actually increases due to being forced into that area underneath the overpass. Again, more towns in the path of the storm through 9 due to being forced into that area underneath the overpass. Again, more storm through 9 o'clock this evening. After 9 p.m., we can sound the all clear. Deptford 8:30, 8:36 in Gloucester, Voorhees at 8:43, Evesham at 8:49, and 8:52 in Mount Laurel. A tornado warning means that the tornado has been indicated by our Doppler radar. It indicates when winds are rotating and which areas are in the possible path of this tornado. We've been watching this circulation move very quickly, so it doesn't give you a lot of time. In addition to the tornado warning, we have flash flood warnings. Looks like Voorhees, Evesham, as I mentioned, with those towns earlier, through 9 o'clock, you want to be in your safe place right now, which would be away from windows, lowest floor of your home. Again, we're interrupting programming because we have yet another tornado warning this season. We've had a couple of tornado touchdowns already this spring. And unfortunately, we have another warning again for areas of Gloucester County, Camden County, and moving up into Burlington County, New Jersey.
Hey,
there
Steve,
you
do
go.
we have any indication, sorry to interrupt you, but
Yes.
how strong the winds are with these storms that are moving through? Because we're already getting reports of some trees down in Woolwich, New Jersey, and Gloucester County.
Right. So on average, I would probably say 60 to 70 miles per hour if you get winds outside of that tornado. If you get the tornado itself, winds can be locally very fast, even faster than that, possibly over 100 miles per hour. Again, nothing has been confirmed on the ground from what I've seen yet. But that's what you get when you get these small little tornadoes. These are not like your Texas or Oklahoma tornadoes that you can see from miles away that have a big dark cloud. These are rain wrapped. They're relatively small, but they're potent and they can blow out windows, knock down trees. And again, as Jim was saying, that we have some reports of trees down from this thunderstorm. So it has a history of producing damage. That's why you do not want to be near windows at this time. And again, till 9 o'clock. But this storm still looking very healthy on radar. We're not seeing any signs of the circulation going away. That's what we want. We want this to eventually fill in and weaken, and it hasn't done so yet. So that's why all these towns to the north and east need to be watching out. If you're just joining us in and around Philadelphia, you have flash flood warnings in effect. So no tornado threat for you in Philadelphia, but you are seeing areas of flooding, and I've seen reports out of Delaware County and over into Newcastle County of roads being flooded, flash flood warnings in effect there through 11:45 this evening. But again, our imminent concern right now is the circulation that is down here in South New Jersey, moving along the 295 corridor. This is a very heavy populated area in and around these areas. So if you are there, you need to be inside, away from windows, either streaming us on Facebook Live or watching us on the app, NBC10 app. But again, more locations in this storm would be now Camden and Burlington County especially. So areas like Gloucester County, the threat's starting to end for you as this storm passes to the north and east. But Camden County, you are in the thick of it, right around Haddon Heights. So that's Route 130, that north-south corridor right around there. You need to be, again, away from windows and in the interior room. Why do we do this? Because the windows are the first thing to break when debris starts flying. What the tornado does is it can rip apart tree limbs and branches, and they basically become small missiles. And so that's why we don't want you near any windows. The interior room is the strongest part of the structure that you're in if you're in your house. The first layer that will be damaged is the exterior. So being as far interior into your house as possible, the closet, the bathroom, that's why that place is so much safer. And again, we don't get a lot of tornado warnings around here, so this is why we are so concerned about this, and also the fact that we've had several tornadoes already this year.
And the colors we're looking at on your map there, Steve, indicate how heavy the rain is coming down, the deep red?
Correct. So what we're looking at here, where you see the intense rain, that is what the radar is picking up. It's hitting those big rain droplets, and that shows where we have a high concentration of them them. And then also what we're seeing here is the potential of damaging winds. Basically, when you see reds like this means the thunderstorm is very healthy. We take a physical of that thunderstorm to see how healthy it is. And when you start to see these dark reds like that, this is a very healthy thunderstorm. And when you start to see a notch, that means that we have a circulation in the thunderstorm. You pair the two of them together, that's when we have the ingredients of a possible tornado. So the latest storm track on this, again, the storm now speeding up, moving east at 40 miles per hour, 844 in Voorhees, 849 Evesham, 852 in Mount Laurel. If you live in these towns, again, this possible circulation, this possible tornado is heading your way across areas of South Jersey. In addition to this, when the downpours do arrive, it goes basically from not raining at all to torrential downpours and sheets of rain, and the visibility drops off dramatically. And then as soon as the intense band is over, the visibility increases. You'll know when that storm has passed you, but this does not have a lot of lightning and thunder like traditional storms do. It kind of just charges in, and that's why we want to give you the warning. Again, the storm moving to the east and northeast at 40 miles per hour. Philadelphia is still under the heavy rain band. You see these almost maroon, dark red shadings. These are flash flood warnings. That means flash flooding is occurring right now at this moment or is about to occur. So that's areas like the Boulevard, I-95, areas of like Route 13, from Ben Salem south and west into Philadelphia County, throughout the Northeast right now. Again, some dangerous flooding. What happens when you encounter floodwaters? Turn around. What happens? That rain may have washed the road underneath it away, and then you can lose traction with your car. And that's where we lose the most lives in severe weather. So again, two scenarios unfolding right now. Flash flood warnings in southeastern Pennsylvania. Serious situation, but the most dangerous situation right now is where you see this red box. This tornado warning about to expire at 8:45. This is the one that I'm concerned about. This is the newly issued tornado warning. And in this storm's path, we've seen trees down and we've seen damage. So again, you need to be taking caution right now. You want to be pulling off to the side of the road. If you know somebody driving along there, these are not conditions that you want to be traveling in. And again, this circulation still looks healthy to me. What I'm looking for each time I look at this radar to see if this has filled in a little bit. If it has, then the threat really is starting to pass over, but I'm still seeing a strong circulation. So if you know anybody in this area, again, text them, call them. Photos, videos after the storm has passed would be appreciated. That gives us the best knowledge of what has happened in the path of this storm. But again, this is heading along 295, which is a very highly traveled road, also the New Jersey Turnpike.
Yeah, you really have to slow down. If you're in this kind of rain, Steve, if you've encountered it, I've encountered it. If you're on 95 with this kind of downpour, it's not only the rain that's coming down, it's also that splashing that can come from the other side of the road that can really cut your visibility.
And the conditions can change so drastically in a short amount of time that the car in front of you may be encountering that weather, and it's not even to your car yet. And so you don't know what that other driver is going to do. Plus, there's a lot of tractor trailers out on the roadway. Again, this is a tough situation. It's fast moving. That's the good news with this. By 9 o'clock, these areas will be in the clear. The storm will start to head towards the New York City metro area. But again, we're still in that threat zone. We are taking this very seriously after the spring that we've had. We've had several tornado touchdowns. The state of Pennsylvania has had more tornadoes this season than it typically does in an entire year. So this is not your average severe weather spring. So this is why we're so concerned. Runnymede, 839, 847 in Voorhees, 853 in Evesham. Again, you want to turn the volume way up. If you're just joining us, if you're watching programming, sorry about that, but we need to cover this because we do have a dangerous situation unfolding across South Jersey and obviously Facebook Live. Also the NBC10 app, that will also alert you. Let's say a new tornado warning comes out in your neighborhood, it will be first to push notify you with that alert in the path of this storm. But again, this is the part, you see this big warning, but it's really a small part of the storm that is the most dangerous. So it looks like just coming across Gloucester, so that looks like what, the 42 freeway? That's another very heavily traveled roadway as this storm continues to move off to the east at about 40 miles per hour. So places like Evesham, you need to be taking this very seriously. Also, the radar has a latency, a lag time of about 5 minutes. So that storm is probably actually a little bit farther to the north and east. So places upstream, this is where you need to be taking your tornado precautions. And let's just see if we can look at some of the tower cams. Look at the visibility, how it's improved in Philadelphia. So that shows you once that back edge comes through, we couldn't see this camera just minutes ago, and now we can see it. And again, Wilmington is looking fine. So again, this storm system moving into South Jersey, we want to take it seriously. In addition to the tornado threat, possible damaging winds, and also some very heavy downpours, blinding downpours, I would say, is the bigger threat for most of you. So again, hopefully you're home safe and inside, but anybody traveling, put off the travel until, let's say, the next 2 hours or so until the storm passes off to the east, again, at 40 miles per hour. So it's going to be crossing 295. Once again, this storm system has been kind of hugging 295 for the last hour or so. It started displaying characteristics of a tornado in northern Delaware. That's where it started showing signs that this is a dangerous storm. And then a few minutes later, of course, that tornado warning came out into effect into South Jersey. So how far is it away? Well, it's about 15 minutes away, or actually it looks like 22 minutes away from Mount Laurel. So again, you're up in the Burlington County area into Pemberton. This storm is heading in your direction. Gloucester County, I think things are going to start to improve for you. Salem County, the threat is over for you. Newcastle County, the threat is over for you. It's all about Burlington and Camden counties at this moment, right around the Cherry Hill Mall. That's where we're seeing the issues with heavy rain and potentially damaging winds. Latest track on this. We keep putting new tracks on here because there's a lot of different towns that are impacted. This is a very highly populated area, unlike some of the areas in Berks and Chester where we can draw one cone and it's fine. We have a lot of towns in here. So Voorhees, 844, 849 in Evesham, 852 in Mount Laurel, 8:55 in Medford, 9 o'clock in Lumberton. That is the estimated time arrival of this storm, give or take a few minutes. But again, conditions will change very rapidly, from just light showers coming down to this wall of water. And that's when the potential of damaging winds occurs. When that wall of rain comes in, you will not be able to see this potential tornado come in. So I'm actually going to step off camera and see if I can get some new information while Jim kind of recaps us here at this late hour.
Yeah, so we came on the air because we had a couple of things going on here with severe weather. First, we had a tornado warning, which remains in effect till 9 p.m. And Steve has been covering where this is moving and how quickly it's moving and how it's changing the areas that are under this threat. At the same time, also some flash flood warnings that have been in effect in our area because of these heavy downpours. That deep red color you see there on your screen in and around the Philadelphia area, Delran, Ben Salem up there as well. That indicates that the rain is coming down very, very hard. So visibility is very low. It would be a dangerous time to be outside, particularly dangerous if you're out on the roads. You need to pull over and stop if you cannot see clearly through your windshield and the wipers just can't keep up in this kind of weather that's moving through. And Steve, do you have some updated info for us?
Yeah, so I'm actually looking on an app on my phone to get the latest locations in here. It looks like Lindenwold, Pine Hill, and then upstream Medford Lake. So you are in the middle of this tornado warning. Medford Lake's towards the edge of it, but this is an area that the storm will be headed for you. Areas that are no longer really in the threat: Turnersville, Blackwood. You're okay now. You were under the tornado warning. It looks like the storm system now pushing off towards the north and east. But again, that notch, that circulation still happening with this. And what's happening is we're getting a powerful cold front coming through here. Wasn't that warm today, but tonight and overnight tonight into tomorrow morning, the humidity levels will crash. We have a piece of energy in the atmosphere. Sometimes it just takes those few ingredients to get severe weather like this. And of course, that's what we had, this line of storms, but then this circulation spun up very quickly, and it can spin down too. So again, right now, this is the latest we had. Now, we also have flood advisories where you see these green colors. So that means some flooding across some streets and highways, but it's these red polygons. This is where flash flooding, that's where a rapid rise of water is possible. If you live near a creek or stream, for instance, Pennypack, you'll have areas like that that could be seeing flooding quite dramatically. And also, there we go. There's your latest tornado warning, 9 o'clock there for areas, again, of Burlington and Camden County. Here's a live shot right now of some of the highway conditions out there.
This is I-95 near the link, Steve. So you see the roadways are wet. The rain, the heaviest of the rain, perhaps moved out of this area by the link. But still, it's moving through, and you need to be aware of that. If you have loved ones who are out traveling, let's hope they are doing so safely, because there will be heavy downpours in our region.
Yeah, that's right, Jim. And those flash flood warnings for Philadelphia, I just want to get the latest on this, go through, looks like 12:15 in the morning. So there you go. So even though the heaviest of the rain may have ended in your neighborhood, when you're driving around, that doesn't mean that some of your neighboring communities are in the same shape as you. So you know those vulnerable spots. That's why we want you to kind of put off the travel if you can. Conditions overnight tonight will be drastically better. This is a live look from our Aqua camera. This is at the Camden Aquarium, shooting across, and you can see the back edge of those storms. So the clearing line, not far away. It's moving through Center City, and it's a very sharp line that you can see between the weather clearing out and that heavy rain, which is still falling on that lens. The threat, unfortunately, is over the Delaware River, back into New Jersey, across Camden County and Gloucester County. But this is a good sign that things will get better here over the course of the next hour. And so for the next 15 minutes or so, that's why we're with you. We want you to be prepared. This is a good case that you need to have all the volume on your devices turned up. You need to be in your basement or away from windows and have the NBC10 app, because this is what we will do. We will, again, push notify you if a new tornado warning is issued, if a new flood warning is issued, and of course, we will also be push alerting if we get any damage reports from some of these neighborhoods. So there's your circulation, just pushing through Haddon Heights here along Route 130, moving up again to the east at about 40 miles per hour. There's the notch, as you can see from the arrow being drawn. This means our Doppler radar still showing signs of rotation. The storm has not weakened enough yet where we can call it quits with this tornado warning. And based on this circulation, where you see this notch, that's where the winds are spinning quite quickly. Our Doppler radar is indicating that in the cloud level. Whether that's making that down to the ground or not is still in question. But when we see this on the radar, we have to issue those warnings. And unfortunately, areas in the path now: Cherry Downs at 8:47, Evesham at 8:50, 8:55 in Shintown, Medford at 8:57 over into Burlington County, 9:01 in Lumberton. Again, it comes in like a wall of water. You'll get some strong wind gusts. You will hear those winds roar. You want to be in your interior room. As soon as you start to hear those winds relaxing a bit, as soon as the downpours start to relax just a bit, that's when you can get back out and see if there's been any damage in your neighborhood. But again, it's this area up to the north, no threat here. Down to the south of there, threat not really existing. This is potential flash flooding along the 295 corridor right now from Bordentown along the New Jersey Turnpike down to where the Pennsylvania connector is. You know where that section is. We could potentially be seeing some flooding there. Along 611 Street Road, we could be seeing some flooding in that area, the boulevard. So again, if you have flood reports, please send them over to us. We have the handle NBC Philadelphia. You can do us on Twitter, on Facebook, sending us that information over. And again, this red right here is the latest on the tornado warning. Evesham, Mount Laurel. Again, I have to repeat myself. You're not going to hear a lot of thunder or lightning with this storm. We have the lightning strikes turned on. There's barely any with this as I look. And the storm, again, moving to the east. So behind it, Barrington, West Deptford, Philadelphia. You're clear right now. Cherry Hill, you're not near the circulation. So it looks like the circulation passing south of you. And actually, on this latest look of the Doppler radar, it looks like this circulation may be weakening now. This would be good. We'll wait for another scan on this to come through.
While we wait for that, Steve,
yes.
I want to show our viewers some video that a viewer sent in. Sorry to interrupt you once again, but it gives you a chance to gather new information. This is some high water in Ballackinwood, Montgomery County this evening, sent in again by one of our viewers. There you see a car doing what we say is not advisable, driving through standing water like that, because you just never know exactly how deep that water is. Once again, this is in Ballackinwood, Montgomery County this evening, sent in by a viewer. We appreciate our viewers sending in what they see and what they hear, but we ask you to do so safely. If you are seeing anything in the way of a funnel cloud, we don't want you standing near your windows in your home. Right. You need to get to an interior room or to your basement, and when it clears, then it's safe to shoot some video and maybe send it to us via the NBC10 app. Steve? Yeah, that's right. So, Jim, the latest on the storm now, it's moving towards Evesham, New Jersey. Again, a couple of weeks ago when we had those storms out in Berks County, people were out taking video, and we saw those amazing video of funnel clouds. This is not the same
same type of situation. You will not see this funnel cloud. It'll be wrapped in rain, and so it'll just look like a sheet of downpours. But what happens, though, is it can blast out windows within that sheet of downpours. Only lasts probably about a minute or two, and then it's gone. But unfortunately, in that amount of time, it can do some damage. So Mount Laurel, you're still in the path of the storm. It's the southern part where you see these dark red colors. This is the most intense part of the thunderstorm. The good news, it's moving at 40 miles per hour, so I think 11 minutes now until this warning expires. The heavy rain threat still continues to be a problem. As Jim was showing you that flash flooding video out of Bala Cynwyd, we've heard a number of reports of that to the west. So there's no reason why this wouldn't be doing the same thing in addition to the damaging wind and possible tornado threat. So again, you want to be off the roadways if you can. I know tomorrow is Friday. A lot of you like to get out of town. Just put that travel off until tomorrow, until the storm system has passed. Cherry Hill, looks like the worst of the weather is over for you now. Cinnaminson, you're okay. Again, Philadelphia, Deptford, where it looked really ominous a while ago, you now are in the clear. But again, it's this notch right here. And as I said, it's not looking quite as impressive. We want to see that on the radar. And Jim, you have some new information?
We just have some new videos, Steve. We want to show our viewers. Sent in via Twitter from actually our NBC10 producer, Brett Feinberg. This is Center City about half hour ago when the rain was really coming down hard right here in Center City.
And so you can instantly see that as soon as that rain started falling, you can see all the puddles that developed. And you can see the water just laying on the streets. And those are huge rain droplets. And unfortunately, the visibility can go down with that. And again, where you have the poor drainage in spots, as you can see, those cars are going through that water right now.
That's when you want to stay way away from the street.
That's when you're sidewalk surfing and you're trying to dodge those downpours. But yeah, that's inconvenient. But as we've seen, there's a lot of places that the flooding is substantially worse. So this is our Comcast camera, as you can see. Yeah, beautiful from a science standpoint. You can see the clouds, the darkening clouds there. That's looking towards South Philadelphia. So you're seeing Liberty 1, Liberty 2, the Mellon building towards South Philadelphia, the stadium threat over there. As it continues to pan off to the east into the southeast there, you're starting to see the clouds darken up just a bit. That's where the heavy rain is still falling. That's not the dangerous part of the storm, but as we continue to pan just there to the east, see how the visibility drops. You are seeing much farther in the distance there across South Philadelphia. The visibility just kind of drops off. It's in that rain curtain that we have that potential damaging wind situation. I'm hearing that the tornado warning has been canceled. So we showed you that on the radar. We showed you that the signature did not look as impressive, and indeed the tornado warning has been canceled. So that allows us to breathe easy a little bit. Again, if you're in the path of the storm, still could have some damaging winds, flash flooding, but now the tornado threat looks like it's ending. If any new warnings are issued, we will be here with you every step of the way. We will have a full report coming up on NBC Philadelphia News at 11 o'clock on the latest on the damage caused by this, and of course, looking ahead to brighter times for our weekend forecast. And Jim, back over to you.
All right, Steve, we appreciate that update. Of course, we'll continue to update you on any severe weather that may be moving through any of our area on the NBC10 app, and we'll have full coverage coming up tonight on NBC10 News at 11. We return you now to our regular programming.
Tuesday.